Yes, people, welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. I hope you're all right on this nice day outside. Get out there, hug a tree. Yeah, it's good for the planet. Right, let's get into this one. A bit of a general news video. Smash that like button, get your comments in, and subscribe to the Kop TV if you have not already. This one today, we're going to be focusing on mainly Konate, touching on Kerkez, finishing off the dotting the I's and crossing the T's on his contract at the AXA right now. And of course, a little look ahead to maybe the future of Darwin Nuñez away from Liverpool potentially. And it was also his birthday. So feliz cumpleaños, Darwin Nuñez. Happy birthday to you, my brother. And also big up Nat Phillips. That's what I've got to say. Big up Nat Phillips. Right, 9 years of service as a Liverpool player. Won the Player of the Year. Sorry, let's step back a little bit. Won the Player of the Month in February 2021. So big him up, right? What a boy. And 10 years ago today, we signed my favourite player, whose boots I have right here. Bobby Firmino. One of my favourite Liverpool players of all time. Seriously. But right, let's start off with Ibrahima Konate. Allegedly, talks are stalling when it comes to renewing Konate's contract. We know that currently he sits on £70,000 a week. And when you compare that, right, to the likes of a John Stones, for example, he's well below in the pecking order. Saliba, 190k. De Ligt, 190k, finished 16th or 15th. Maguire, 190k. John Stones, 250k. 70k a week Konate is on at Liverpool. My question to you is, how much do you think Liverpool are offering in this new round of alleged chats about a new contract? And the second question is, how much should Liverpool be offering in that new contract? So do let me know in the chat. Me personally, I think, obviously, the finances aren't down to me whatsoever, and thank God they're not, right? Because you saw me on Goodbye, Bad Bye last week. I was dishing money well over the top, all over the gaff. But me personally, let me think. I think you could double that and then some. And I'd say that is his worth. I mean, sometimes the market has anomalies in it. Sometimes it shows you numbers where you're like, well, yes, that's the number for that player. That's what the market dictates. But he's not worth that money. And obviously De Ligt is one of them. Maguire is definitely one of them. And what I don't want to do is say, well, because Maguire's on 190, Ibu Konate should be on 250. I don't think that. 26-year-old coming into the prime of his career, I do think he's got so much still to give. You know, a mainstay in the France squad now for some years. Ibu Konate, in my opinion, should be getting around about 170. And that's doubling it and then some on what he's currently on. But around about 170k a week. I think Virgil is close to the 300 mark. Obviously, Salah's past that. Alisson, you know, whose amazing documentary has come out on All Red, by the way. I've seen clips of it, but I'm desperate to watch that full thing. So I would say Ibu Konate, based on the market, but also taking into consideration the structure and how it affects the rest of the team. But there's other players that are on a lot more than that, who don't have as big an impact as Ibu Konate. So there's relative to the wider market in the Premier League and Europe, but there's also relative to the squad and how Liverpool do things. And I would say 160 to 170k a week is probably fair for Ibu Konate. But having said that, there are players, you know, on more than that per week. So Ibu Konate, new contract. First of all, does he sign it? Second of all, how much is he going to get? And what do you actually think Liverpool have already offered that are part of these, you know, new rounds of negotiations that allegedly he's turning down? So let us know. He did comment on social media. Every report you see on social media is fake. That I want to wait until the end of the contract. It's all completely fake. I didn't even ask for something salary-wise from the club. So I believe Ibu Konate. I kind of think he's the person that is very true to himself. What I think has happened though, when Ibu Konate joined, you know, it was at his birthday, he was wearing a Liverpool shirt, Liverpool cake. That's gone away a little bit, even though he was on holiday, and I think the hotel he was staying at made him a cake, and the cake was the crown of the Premier League. So maybe that love for Liverpool, not that it ever went away, because he's a Premier League champion, he's an incredible defender. We love him at Liverpool. But it's nice to see him outside of the pitch still showing love like he did when he first joined. But yeah, Ibu Konate allegedly says that everything you're reading and hearing about online is false. It's all a lie. It's made up. It's fugazi, it's fugazi. But at the same time, he will be asking for something, and his agent will be saying, look at all these other players, look at the money they're on, let's try and at least double that. And I think if Liverpool offer from 150 to 170 a week, he signs that contract long term. I'd like a 4-year deal, a 4 or 5 year deal, if I'm honest. Probably 5 year. Take him up to the age of 31. I think that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So Ibu Konate, all the questions, I've already asked you them. Get them down below in the chat. Next up, allegedly, according to Fabrizio Romano, Liverpool and Napoli have direct contacts today to discuss the conditions of the Darwin Nuñez deal. How does it look? The negotiations are still at the early stages, but Napoli had the green light already from the player side and Darwin Nuñez's camp. The deal depends on the financial requests now. So listen, what seems to have happened here is Napoli have called us up. Obviously, they've just got Kevin De Bruyne through the door. They've got O'Reilly from Brighton. They're building some squad there, aren't they, in Serie A to try and actually defend their title, similar to what Liverpool are going to do next season. And they've gone, how much for Darwin Nuñez? We've said 60. They said, we're not giving you that. How about 50? And we've gone, hang on, Darwin, do you want to go to Napoli? And he's gone, see? And they've gone, right, we'll come back to you with a price, but he's all right with it. Yeah, go on. And then put the phone down. So it's early stages, but the player is up for it. And I think Liverpool fans might just be up for it as well, to reinvest that money into the playing squad, to replace Darwin Nuñez with another Darwin Nuñez, essentially. It hasn't worked out. And you know what? I'm looking at this picture of him now, lifting the Prem with the medal round his neck. That's the only picture I'd like to remember of Darwin Nuñez. He left as a champion. Got a couple of other domestic cups as well. Big him up, right? What a boy. But yeah, go to Napoli. I mean, we might end up playing Napoli in the Champions League, to be honest. We probably will. And he'd probably destroy us again like he did with Benfica. You know how it works when players come back, right? But Darwin Nuñez to Napoli, how likely is it? How much of a loss would it be? But how big a sum could Liverpool bring in for him to reinvest into the squad as well? Interesting one with Darwin, isn't it? Because someone somewhere is definitely going to get the best out of him and do real bits with him. But it's his birthday today. Let me know in the comments right now your favourite Darwin Nuñez memories as a Liverpool player. I'll give you my top 5. I'll do top 5. Number 5, when I went to Sparta Prague away and he scored 2 absolute screamers and they were throwing stuff at him after when he was celebrating. One of them was a screamer similar to the one he scored against Bournemouth, and another one, great ball from Maka. He's let it bounce and wrapped it in the bottom left corner. I think we won 5-1 the game. So that's number 5. Number 4 would be I'll go the last second probably Nottingham Forest away header. I will go for that. I think as a moment, can it get much better than that? 99th minute, Liverpool desperate for the win to stay in the title race. Yeah, unbelievable from Darwin. And do you know what? It's actually a really good header. It's a floated ball with no power on it. So he's kind of got to generate it, but flick it behind him as well. It's unbelievable. So big him up, man. He loved a late away goal. Speaking of late away goals, number 3 on the Darwin list is probably the Newcastle. Actually, I'll go Newcastle goal. Yeah, the goals as a sub. He comes on 1-0 down, 10 men, and we win 2-1. Great finishes as well. Both quite similar finishes across the keeper. I think Mo Salah sets up the second one. Great little ball through to him. And that's what he can do. That is literally what he can do. But he didn't do it enough. So that was an unbelievable moment. I was running around like an absolute lunatic when those goals flew in. Number 2, I'll go for... Maybe I've done too many moments here. I'll go, do you know what? As a euphoric moment, I'll go for his flicked goal against Real Madrid. The first 20 minutes of that game were the best 20 minutes I've ever experienced inside Anfield ever. Right, we were 2-0 up against Real Madrid inside 20 minutes. The next 70 minutes after that was the worst I've ever experienced at Anfield, if I'm honest with you. But that 20 minutes, as a second of euphoria, bang, Nuñez scores against Madrid. Forgetting what happened after, I was like, I love this, man. I'll run through a brick wall for him. So that's number 2. And number 1, I was at the game. Brentford away, it has to be, doesn't it? It has to be. The 2 late goals again from Darwin, who was having a bit of a stinker off the bench, if I'm being frank. It was actually my birthday as well, and I remember just coming out of that game thinking, we've definitely won the league, but I'd be happy if Darwin Nuñez left the next day. I'd be like, got Brentford away in the bank. Don't care. That was good enough for me. And then he became a champion. So big him up, man. Darwin Nuñez, he's getting off, isn't he? It looks like it anyway. But how much would you like to see him come through the door for? Let me know. Milos Kerkez is in Merseyside. He has signed his contract as a Liverpool player. The announcement is very, very, very imminent. It's going to come any second now. It's been going on for some time. We've known that £40 million gets him through the door. That's what we've paid. But what will he bring tactically to Arne Slot that maybe we missed last season? Yes, you can say the legs and the pace, but he's a very good defender. I know he bombs on and gets assists, scores goals, but he's a very good defender. So I'm a big fan of his. Can't wait to see how much he'll appreciate playing for Liverpool. And like Doyle said on Hot Topics yesterday, Arne Slot is creating this future-proof squad where in every position you've got not only 2 options, but 2 styles of play. And I think Robertson and Conor Bradley definitely offer a style, but Frimpong and Kerkez, oh wow, that gives you a whole different problem for the other team to deal with. So yeah, it's a great signing for Liverpool. It was tailor-made. I really liked him at Bournemouth, and I thought when I was in the concourse for the Brentford away game when Nuñez scored 2, I think that game was on the same day, and it was on in the concourse, Kerkez. I see him whipping his top off, giving it all that at St James's Park. I'm thinking, who's this fella? Get him in. And he's Dominic's best mate. And we've got him in. Lovely work. Brilliant from FSG and Liverpool to get that one over the line at 40 mil. Probably around about par for the course in terms of the fee. So yeah, really happy with that. Really happy with that. Milos Kerkez, vamos. Bienvenido, chico. Right, we've spoken about Ibu Konate, Darwin Nuñez and Napoli, and also there was a little rumour that the Joe Gomez or Diogo Jota would be moved on to Newcastle as a make-weight for the Isaac deal. Still no one has ruled it out technically on the Liverpool side. They haven't ruled it out technically yet. But he is our longest-serving player alongside Mo Salah and Andy Robertson. And just a quick one. According to Sky Sports News, Liverpool spending isn't done. Great way to end it. Liverpool's spending isn't done this summer. They're trying to build a squad that will dominate for the next 5 to 6 years. Exactly. Future-proofing, like I just said. Arne Slot wants to make his mark on Europe next season and win that Champions League. So rejoice, right? Rejoice, because it's a great time to be a Liverpool fan. Take care. Smash that like button. Leave a comment. And make sure you subscribe. All the best. Good work, production.